They called him weak, they said he'd never make it, they laughed at his dreams like they were some kind of joke. But here's the thing about warriors. They are born in fire, not in comfort. And every time the world pushed him down, every time life threw him into the dirt, every time his body screamed to quit, something inside whispered louder, "Get up." That whisper turned into a roar, and that roar turned into an unstoppable force. Because that's what life does. It doesn't hand you victories, it hands you battles, and the ones who learn to fight, to bleed, to rise again, those are the ones who become legends. You see, people think strength is built in gyms, in shiny success stories, in the applause of crowds. But that's a lie. Real strength is built in silence, in the dark, in those lonely nights when no one is watching and no one cares. That's where warriors are made. And this boy, broken and beaten, decided he was done being a victim. He made a choice. If life was going to treat him like an enemy, he would become a soldier, a fighter, a warrior who never bows, never quits, never backs down. And you, sitting here right now, you've been through battles too. Maybe you've been told you're not good enough. Maybe you've been knocked down so many times you lost count. Maybe you feel like the world has already written your story and it ends with failure. But I'm here to tell you, that's not the truth. The truth is that inside you is the same fire, the same power, the same unstoppable spirit that turns nobodies into champions. You don't need perfect conditions, you don't need everyone's support, you don't even need anyone to believe in you. All you need is that decision, that moment where you say, "Enough is enough, I will rise, I will fight, I will unleash the warrior within." Because once you decide, nothing can stop you. Not doubt, not fear, not failure. And here's the secret the world doesn't want you to know. Every single struggle you faced, every heartbreak, every setback, every painful memory, that wasn't punishment. That was preparation. Every scar is armor. Every tear is fuel. Every fall is a lesson sharpening your blade. The pain wasn't there to break you. It was there to build you into someone unbreakable. That's what happened to him. That's what's happening to you. And that's what will carry you into greatness if you stop running from your battles and start fighting through them. Life will test you, yes, but tests create warriors. And warriors don't just survive, they conquer. The boy realized that being a warrior didn't mean living without fear. It meant moving forward even when fear wrapped around his throat like chains. Every morning when he woke up, that fear was waiting for him. Fear of failing again. Fear of not being enough. Fear of proving the doubters right. But instead of running from it, he walked straight into it, and every time he did, the chains got weaker, the grip got looser, the fear lost its power. That's the truth no one tells you. Fear never leaves, but warriors learn how to tame it. And each time he faced it, each time he acted anyway, his confidence grew, his resilience grew, and his belief in himself grew. The more he fought, the more he saw that struggle wasn't the enemy, it was the training ground. Every tear shed, every sleepless night, every time he thought he had nothing left but still took one more step, that's where the transformation happened. And one day, he stopped seeing himself as the weak boy they laughed at. He started seeing himself as the fighter he was becoming. And you need to understand this right now. The same transformation is waiting for you. You've been knocked down, doubted, underestimated, maybe even abandoned. But those are not curses. They are weapons, sharpened and handed to you by life itself. Warriors don't get built in safety. They get built in chaos. Warriors aren't born with everything. They're born with nothing, and they learn to turn nothing into everything. That's what you're capable of. Every time you want to quit, every time your body says stop, every time the voices in your head tell you you'll never make it, that's the signal that your warrior is waking up. That's when you push harder. That's when you rise anyway. That's when you prove to yourself that limits don't exist, not for someone who refuses to bow. The boy's world didn't change overnight. There were still nights when hunger gnawed at him, mornings when exhaustion weighed him down, days when failure knocked at his door again and again. But he stopped seeing those things as proof of weakness and started seeing them as evidence of his growth. Because warriors aren't judged by how many battles they win. They're judged by how many times they refuse to surrender. And with every refusal, he became stronger, harder, sharper. He wasn't waiting for a miracle anymore. He was becoming the miracle. And if you dare to keep pushing, if you dare to keep fighting, if you dare to turn your pain into power, you too will unleash the warrior within you. The boy soon discovered that being a warrior wasn't about fighting others. It was about mastering himself. His greatest enemy was never the people who mocked him, never the ones who doubted him, never the ones who tried to drag him down. His greatest enemy was the voice in his own head, whispering, "You're not good enough." And let me tell you, that voice is the most dangerous opponent you will ever face, because it doesn't strike from the outside, it strikes from within. It knows your fears, your insecurities, your doubts. It knows where you're weakest, and it hits you there every single time. But the boy refused to let that voice control him anymore. Every time it whispered, "Quit," he shouted back, "Not today." Every time it said, "You can't," he answered with, "Watch me." And slowly, the voice that once held him back became the fuel that pushed him forward. That's what you need to hear right now. Your warrior isn't waiting for permission. Your warrior isn't waiting for the perfect conditions. Your warrior is waiting for you to silence that inner enemy and take control. Because once you conquer yourself, once you own your discipline, your habits, your focus, nothing outside of you can stop you. The boy trained not just his body, but his mind. He built discipline like armor, forged resilience like steel, sharpened focus like a blade. And little by little, the world began to change, not because it got easier, but because he got stronger. And that's the shift you need too. Stop waiting for life to stop being hard. Start becoming harder than life itself. And here's the raw truth: you don't grow when things are easy. You don't evolve when everything goes right. You grow when life hits you with pain, when failure knocks you flat, when your back is against the wall and the only choice you have is to rise or to give up. That's where warriors are made. The boy understood that now. Every battle wasn't punishment, it was progress. Every scar wasn't shame, it was proof. Every step forward, no matter how small, was victory. And as he kept moving, something incredible happened. The same people who once laughed at him started watching in silence. The same people who doubted him started whispering his name. The same world that once buried him in doubt started to take notice of his rise. But the warrior didn't fight for their approval anymore. He fought for himself, for the fire inside, for the unstoppable strength he had built from nothing. And you can do the same. Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something we all battle with: the storms in our mind. You see, motivation isn't always about the physical grind, the gym, the long nights at the desk, or the early mornings chasing your dream. Sometimes the biggest fight happens inside your own head in silence when no one is watching. That little voice that says, "You're not good enough, you're too late, you're too old, you're not ready." That voice destroys more dreams than failure ever will. But here's the thing: they're just thoughts, not facts. They're echoes from fear, not truth from your potential. Winners, the ones who rise above, learn to recognize that voice and say, "You don't control me." When that voice screams at you, drown it out with action. Every rep, every page written, every risk taken is a slap in the face of doubt. Every move forward is proof you are stronger than fear. And let me tell you this: if you've ever felt unworthy, unsure, or stuck, congratulations, because you're human. But you don't have to stay there. Greatness is not about avoiding doubt. It's about walking forward with it, hand in hand, and refusing to quit anyway. Every time you fight back, every time you say, "Not today," to that voice, you are rewriting your story. Remember this: the chains in your mind are weaker than your will. Break them and the world opens up to you. And now we've come full circle. You started this journey with doubt, maybe even fear, wondering if you had what it takes. But look at you now. You're still here, still listening, still fighting, and that alone makes you different. Most people quit before they even begin. But not you. You're still standing, and that means there's fire inside you that refuses to go out. Understand this: life doesn't hand success to anyone. It demands you rip it out of the soil with your bare hands. Every day you wake up, you have a choice. Surrender to comfort or step into the grind that builds champions. So let me leave you with this. Don't just chase dreams, hunt them down. Don't wait for opportunities, create them. Don't ask for permission, take your place. Because at the end of it all, when the lights go out and it's just you and your reflection in the mirror, the only question that will matter is, did you give it everything? No more excuses, no more delays, no more waiting for the perfect moment. The time is now. You are ready. You are powerful. You are built for this. Stand tall, lock in, and go claim the life you were born for. Because if not you, then who? And if not now, then when?